Hey there, comic book fans. I'm back from the comic shop again this week. 4 new comics, all pulled off the shelf because there was a ransomware attack at Diamond this week, so they couldn't get the comics out. But there's only one comic on my pull list anywhere. It was the first issue of How Far Have You Been From Here? Something like that. And it's funny because there was Roy, the comic shop owner, was telling me that I mentioned something about there's a version of that comic that comes with like a soundtrack. It's like for $15 they give you some sort of disc to. It may have been a portable, a vinyl disc even, but he's like, you can't get that one because it was sold out before they set the orders. In that. Before final order cutoff, they already had them printed, or I guess they had to get the vinyl out in time. So they only had I don't know how many thousands of copies of them. And the final order, they were already sold out by final order cutoff. So if you want the disc to that, it's going to be hard to find. But I ordered the one without the disc. But anyway, 4 comics to show you. Plus I got some library books. Well, first I want to mention my Patreon again, where the link is down there. This is the... if you go to my Patreon, for $6, you can get the digital magazine of this. But I also, if you don't want to go to Patreon, I just set up a digital download on my Etsy store, which has nothing but this right now. So for $6, you can also go to my Etsy store and get the digital magazine about my art. So, Patreon, Etsy, and let's take a look at my museum comics for the week. I went DC this week with an Ernie Cologne Ghosts. Let's see, what issue is this? Oh, don't have my glasses on, can't see. Issue 109 of Ghosts. I used to buy these in the early 80s just because they had some cool little stories and art in them. I think this is the early 80s. Yeah, it's a 60 center. And for my indie one, I pulled a Frank Cho Liberty Meadows book. I only have 2 issues of this. I don't know why I didn't buy more. I enjoyed them, but for some reason I didn't buy them. But what is this? 2002. This is a comic strip he used to do that he used to publish in comic book form too. So there you go, a couple of my museum top of the printer covers of the week. Ghosts in Liberty Meadows. Let's see what I pulled up off the shelf. We've got After Dark, a horror anthology. This is another one of the graphic novel format ones from Aftershock. They're all done in ones, $7 for this. I think they're like a 48-page format. It's like there's some ads in the back, so it's probably a 40 or 42-page book, which I think for $7 at this size is a pretty good price, being that a 20-page comic from Marvel is $4. Don't know who did. I flipped through it. The art. It's Colin Bunn and Cliff Richards, Jim Starlin writer, and Nicole Jelinek as the artist, Joe Pruitt and Sisman Kadransky. Okay, that's a Black-Eyed Kid story. I've never read any of those. Frank Thierry and Joe Eisma. Here, we'll show you the... But this came out last week, and it caught my eye, and I was like, you know what, I'll buy it, because I liked the other 3 that I got in this format from Aftershock. And it's one... I keep saying I like the European graphic album format, so I may as well buy stuff. And like I said, and it's one issue. It's $7. It's not $7 a month or $7 every 2 months. It's just like, oh, I'll get this one. Then what else did I get? Provenance of Secrets. Like I said, I was just pulling stuff off the shelves that they had there. Black Caravan. Written and lettered by Kieran Tagan. Illustrated by Christian Dabari. You got me. But I flipped through it and thought it looked kind of cool. So I figured, slow week, may as well get some stuff, some number ones, and see how good it is. Bought that, and the next one I got comes in a plastic bag. Cherry Blackbird. I don't know. You know what? Why don't I open this and see why it comes in a plastic bag? Because I don't know. But once, it's Black Caravan again. I liked the cover. I've seen some other issues of this where I liked the... Hold on, let me get my scissors. I don't want to start tearing at this since I don't see a seam to tear down, so we'll just cut across the top very gently. You know, don't want to wreck my book opening it. Must be an adult book of some kind. That's barely any nudity. I mean, it's so stylizedly drawn that I can't imagine that. Let's just say it's not erotic art, so I don't know why it's in plastic. But we'll give that a look. Which cover is this? 4-1. Oh, this is issue 4. Yeah, I don't even. There's like I said, I've seen a bunch of these covers that I like, so I figured I'd try one. Then the last one I got, A Thing Called Truth, issue 1. Once again, I have no idea what this is. Who are the Iolandra Zanfardino and Eliza Ronboli? No clue. But I liked it. I flipped it up and opened it and liked it. A lot of people yelling in this one I noticed too as I flipped through the artwork. Thought the drawing was pretty cool. Nice little splash page there. Give it a, got 4 things this week that I'll give a read to. Oh, let me show you my library books. We got Marvel Visionary Steve Ditko. It's funny, they had I noticed they had on the shelf the soft cover version of this. It's just Marvel collected a bunch of Steve Ditko stuff. This is a few years old now. Let's see what the date is on it. 2005. Yeah, I think this hardcover one is out of print. The softcover one is. I might do a taking a look video of that just to look through it. Then I got what is this? X-Men Messiah Complex. Ed Brubaker wrote these. Collecting. I was just looking for stuff to take out of the library. I saw this. I was like, I've never read any of the Ed Brubaker written X-Men, so I'll give it a try. I think the pages are falling out of this library book. But we'll see. I might not make it through it. And then here's another one. I think I read some of these at the very beginning. This is Rick Remender and Jerome Opeña and Matt Hollingsworth, 7 to Eternity, volumes 1, 2, and 3, trade paperbacks. No, it was funny. At the comic shop, the guy ahead of me was buying 2 volumes of this. I don't know which ones, 2 or 3 or 1 and 2. But it's like I had just taken them out of the library before I went to the comic shop. But I read, I think, most of Volume 1 way back when it came out. I may have read it digitally or something. But I figured, you know what? I was looking for stuff to take out of the library. We got that one too. And then we got the big one. Sleeper Omnibus. Now, I have all the issues that are in here. And I was like, and I just happened to be looking, I was looking for Brubaker stuff for that X-Men, and they had this there too. This is Sleeper Volume 1 and 2 plus Point Blank. Brubaker and Sean Phillips. This is where this is the first like sort of partnering of Brubaker and Phillips. And it's Wildstorm, I think, originally put it out. And it's good stuff. It is really good. And I just happened to see this on. And this omnibus is out of print and goes for like $300. So I was like, you know what? I'll take it out of the library. And maybe, I'll read Sleeper again. Like, instead of going over to my shelf and taking my copies off, I'll read the library version. So that's the last thing I got out of the library. Oh, let me show you. I've been working on some more of these little paste up, mash up Magic the Gathering cards. This time, it's a Charlton comic, Ghostly Haunts number 40. I've been, there's a Steve Ditko panel. I've been cutting panels out of this battered old issue I had of Ghostly Haunts number. I like the ones with the word balloons best, I think. And pasting them down to worthless. I'm taking worthless comics and worthless Magic the Gathering cards and making them into something I think is a little more worthwhile, even if it's still worthless. From time to time, I will appear to enlighten you on such subjects as vampires, werewolves, monsters, UFOs, and magic. I don't know. For some reason, I find them fun. She wasn't Arthur's girl. It isn't fair. Good stuff, good stuff. One more thing I did this week. I colored another one of these. And this is one that as I colored it, I was like, what the heck is that? Last week I colored this one over here, and I mentioned how I particularly liked this one. The face and the head. This one, I the whole time, sometimes I do something, I'm like, what is that? What am I doing? What is that? What is this strange guy in front with this snake guy coming out of, I don't know, what is that? A flower? So I was confused the whole time I was coloring. It's amazing how that can happen, even when I do the drawing sometimes. Because I like to make these strange, weird drawings. And sometimes it gets away from me, and I'm like, that's strange and weird. How did I make that? This is one of those. It's strange and weird, and I don't even quite know what it is. So there you go. We got some comics. We got some library books. We got some cards. We got some covers. And you guys all have a good week out there.